Dauphinoise potatoes are one of the easiest side dishes you could ever make to accompany anything you're cooking. Basically, it's thinly sliced potatoes, thinly sliced onions with cream, and infused in the cream is garlic, and then you pour the whole lot into a baking tray and you bake for the best part of an hour. To make my Dauphinoise potatoes, I've got 2 onions very thinly sliced, as you can see here, at that sort of thickness. And what I'm going to do, I've got 1 kilo of potatoes that I'm also going to peel and thinly slice the same sort of thickness as this. So in my bowl, I've chopped my potatoes up to the same sort of thickness as the onions, and this is about 1 kilo of potatoes that I'm using to 2 onions. Next, we need to infuse these with the cream and garlic. I've got a saucepan. I'm going to pour in 250 millilitres of cream, and I'm going to use 250 millilitres of milk because I find cream very rich, so I'm going to modify my recipe slightly and do half and half. Then I'm going to crush in 2 garlic cloves and then warm this through and then mix this with the potatoes. So in my Pyrex dish, I've measured out cream and milk. Now I'm going half and half milk and cream because I find cream a little bit too rich. So I've adopted my recipe accordingly for myself. Please feel free to use full cream. This is double cream. Double cream you're allowed to heat up and it won't split on you. That's the reason I'm using double cream. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this into my saucepan. I'm going to get 2 cloves of garlic and crush them into my cream. Use the back of a knife when you've crushed the garlic, you don't want to ruin the blade. Back of the knife. 2 cloves of garlic in the cream. The cream is slightly warming, which will allow it to infuse the cream in the garlic into the cream. And what I've done also, I've actually added half a teaspoon of thyme into my cream mixture. Thyme and potatoes goes lovely together. Just let that warm up for 5-6 minutes, and then we don't want this to boil. We just want this to sort of infuse the cream. Now we've taken the cream off the hob now because I didn't want it to boil. The cream now smells of garlic, and the herb, the thyme that I put in, is infused. Now all I'm going to do now with the cream is just pour over the top of my potatoes and my onion mixture. Make sure you get it all out. Now I could have strained this, but I've decided not to. I like the garlic in the potatoes itself, so I have not strained this. You can if you want to. Now the potatoes and the onions, just give a little mix with your hands. Best thing to do is just get your hands in here, as long as you clean hands. Now what we want to do now is start layering the bottom of the Pyrex dish that you're using with the potato and the cream and the onion mixture. So you could do it individually, one at a time, lay it out flat, small one in now, like that, or you could just take a big clump like I'm going to do. Put some onions in there. Till you get about halfway. Now what I'm going to do now, because we haven't seasoned this yet, is add salt and pepper to the layers. So salt enhances the flavour, as we say. Pepper adds a bit of spice. Now I'm just making a simple dauphinoise. Now you could make a dauphinoise gratin, which is basically the cream and some Parmesan mixed together, and that would be quite tasty. But I like the simple approach, just onions and potatoes. So that's the way I'm going to keep mine. So spread your mix out, onions on the top, layer your potatoes over the onions. We want to keep a few potatoes aside for the top, because we want to put a nice layer of potatoes on the very top. I'm just going to pour the cream and the garlic mixture over the top. You can see it running up the sides. There should be ample there so as not to boil over the side of the pot when we put it in the oven. Now all we need to do for the final dressing is put all our onions in here, leave the potatoes for the top, just grab the rest of the onions. Get your kids to do this one because I'm sure they like getting their hands dirty. Right, so then we pack this in, and what we're going to do now is save our potatoes for the top and layer the potatoes over the top, as we said, to make a nice layer. A little bit more pepper. Some salt. And there is our dauphinoise potatoes ready for the oven. And before I put this in the oven, I just want to emphasize that you can add other items to this. You can put a layer of cheese on the top of this. It's my preference not to. 75 grams of Parmesan cheese would be very nice on this. And alternatively, infusing the cream with some nutmeg, just some grated nutmeg, just a little grate like that, would actually infuse the cream and change the taste of the cream. And both are very tasty. Now I'm going to put this in the oven for best part of an hour, and until the topping goes gold and brown. So I've set my oven for 160 degrees centigrade. I'm going to put this in the oven now on my tray, just in case the cream bubbles over the top, and I'm going to cook this for the best part of an hour, and then I'm going to come back and double check it towards the end of the cooking, and maybe leave it in up to another 15 minutes longer, depending on the heat of the oven. I've got a fan oven, so mine might cook a little bit quicker. And before we finish this, I use the Desiree potato, which is a waxy potato. That's the sort of thing you want, so it retains its shape but allows it to cook through. You want something along those lines when you make this. So this is going in my oven now, and it's going in for an hour at 160 degrees centigrade. So here is our beautiful potato dauphinoise. It was just thinly sliced onions, thinly sliced potatoes, infused with infused with garlic and some thyme, and we mixed that all together. So we coated the potatoes and the onions with the cream, and then we layered out into a Pyrex dish and baked in the oven for an hour. And as you can see, the potatoes have gone golden brown on the top. The cream potatoes under the top are moist, but you can still taste the cream with the potatoes, as opposed to the layer on the top, which is now sort of a hardened skin of potatoes. And this is very, very tasty. Now you could put this with any sort of casserole, any sort of roasted meats. Very versatile dish. I hope you try and make it. And I'll be serving this with a rabbit inside a sauce tonight. So here is our beautiful Dauphinoise potatoes with our rabbit and cider casserole. These are two really tasty dishes. They're quite beautiful, and you should actually try and make these.